low information voters among us, to men that are running for office because they want their power back. I find this conduct deplorable. 4 productive years since of service of Mayor Jill Dabbs, we found ourselves making groundless claims of unauthorized salary increases and malfeasant mishandling of funds. What makes these claims so absurd is the inconvenient truth and public records that affirm that you voted for these policies and you allowed these increases, and one of the most vocal among you is criticizing the mayor actually made the motion to proceed this vote. It's an attempt to create a perception of malfeasance, of misunderstanding or mishandling of funds, and the call for an audit. You face another inconvenient truth. The audit has been done, the prosecuting attorney has taken his pass at it, and determined once again all is well and right. No one seems to know what you find further scrutiny, and let's not forget to mention that the council once again is attempting to waste yet another $20,000 of hard-earned taxpayer money. And I was here the night that voted, and Alderman Chandler is the only one that asked any questions about it. Thank you. I would submit that you want only useless investigation to happen so that others can see one taking place. Throughout this childish display of police behavior, at no time do I see you motivated by the desire to serve this city honorably, but rather your selfish desire to wrestle power from a mayor determined to do her job when you won't do yours. As for myself, I've had enough, and I think I'm not alone. The political clock is ticking. We are just, I'm asking the citizens of Bryant to sign up for elections, register to vote, and get out and make your voice heard. This disservice to you and this city by continued irrational and unwarranted attacks on the mayor with a proven record of accomplishment is deplorable. And for you, and for one, I am looking forward that several of you, along with your childish antics, will be removed from the Bryant Council. I'm looking forward to some adult leadership on the council.
Ms. Meyer? Ms. Meyer, can I get a copy of that for the record, please?
Are there any other public?
Well, I am pretty much behind Mrs. Myers on what I wanted to talk about, but basically on the audit, I'm Sherry Cox,
Okay.
and I actually live in Alexander, but I'm like maybe a 1/4 of a mile from Bryant, so I consider that we live in Bryant. But just wanted to say that I didn't think that a public meeting is a place to bring up all the negative light on our mayor. But she's done a very good job. It appears to me that this audit with our tax-paying money could be spent in other areas rather than taking up agenda items mainly for political gain. Another audit will cost another $20,000, and you know that's just not money we have laying around. We do have a business here in Bryant too, and I think the main thing right now that everybody needs to concentrate on is the importance of how the city's run, and we appreciate all of y'all for being on the council.
And did you have a statement that you wanted me to put into the record, or just summarize your, okay, thank you.
Good evening, I'm Danny Steele. I don't want to disappoint anybody. Don't make my usual statement. The citizens of Ward 1 are still opposed to Raymore South, and somebody was disappointed last time I was up here, so I thought I'd go ahead and say that.
Did you say you're for it?
Beg pardon?
Did you say you're for it? I couldn't hear it.
No, we're opposed. I'm here tonight to set the record straight. One of the aldermen has been accused of bringing political actions against the mayor Randy Cox had absolutely nothing to do with the process of exposing this salary issue. I am the person who FOI'd the payroll records. I am the person who polled 5 council members about whether they approved the salary increase. And I am the person who took the information to the media. This is not a political issue. It is a right or wrong, a legal or illegal issue. A very dear friend to my wife and I one day said that she had heard the mayor had again increased her salary. My first comment was, surely not. But because I keep seeing a pattern of behavior with our mayor, I decided to do a Freedom of Information request. And she had indeed increased her salary. As Brittany Spears would say, oops, she did it again. In March, she had increased her salary and that of Heather McKim retroactive to January. I then asked 5 council members if they were aware of her actions, and none, not one, knew anything about it. After listening to the audio recording of the December 2013 Finance and Personnel meeting, in which the mayor repeatedly said that I will not take a salary increase and I will not budget for a salary increase for herself or other elected officials, I was stunned by the deception and deceit that was involved in these statements and the actions taken in March. What has not been recognized is the fact that the mayor's salary can only be increased by a separate resolution or ordinance approved by the city council, which clearly states what that salary is. A line item increase in the budget does not accomplish that what state law requires, as stated in the ruling by the Arkansas Ethics Commission in 2011, when Mrs. Dabbs appeared before them the first time for giving herself a pay increase. The bewildering part of this situation is, why did she do it? Had the mayor simply had a resolution or ordinance written stating that she and the city clerk were eligible for a raise, presented that to the city council, the vote would have been taken and everything would have been fine. But instead, the mayor chose to be deceptive, deceitful with the city council and the citizens of Bryant. She has had a pattern of withholding information from the council, and it has created huge problems. As a former member of this city council and as a citizen of Bryant, I consider these actions to be unacceptable and repugnant. Thank you.
My name is Thomas Rollins. I live down here, Second Spruce. I probably don't get no hand after I make what I'm gonna tell you, but the second month that Jill was mayor, I'm telling you what, it was ridiculous how you guys jumped on her case. And I got up and told you then, you old boy just messed up, she just messed up a good old boy situation. I've been here, she's the 4th mayor that I've been under since she's been, and she has done more than them other guys all put together. I mean, she has, I just cannot see a couple of you guys that are being mayor and do what she does. One of you don't know what to do with the money you collected from the fire department, you know, but all at once she figured out what to do with it. And the other can't smell it. Now, boy, that would be some good mayor, wouldn't it? I mean, come on. If y'all guys can't see what's going on up here, y'all don't need to be on the council. Thank you.
My name's Randy Coger, 105 Northeast 3rd Street. I wasn't planning on speaking tonight, but some of the disgusting things that I've heard here in this council, I've got to speak. I have been working for Jill Dabbs on both her elections, and I've wanted her to get down and tell it the way it is. I wanted her to go off after Randy Cox and tell him what kind of person, and tell the public he really is.
Excuse me, I think this is a point of order here. We got to-
Okay,
got to-
my apologies.
Calm down just a
My
minute.
apologies.
Okay,
But I'm sorry, but the discussion of things that I've heard here,
Okay, this is not the
Okay.
place for that.
all right,
okay?
okay, I'm cool.
It's okay to make comments, but don't point at anyone, okay?
Cool. She refused to get down and get dirty and tell it the way it is, over and over and over again. For someone to attack her integrity sickens me. This woman has more integrity than I've ever seen in a human being.
My name is Herb Matthews. I live at 4620 Wood Forest. I have lived in this area for 30 years. For 20 of it, I kind of had to stand afar off because we were not yet inside the city limits of Bryant and just watch. For the last 10 years, I've been inside the city limits of Bryant, and this is the first year I've ever become politically active. And what I've seen in the council of the last few meetings that I've been to is that this council is to be here about the city's business. And I see much too much political posturing going on in a place where it shouldn't be. Now, number one, if Ms. Dabbs did deliberately deceive this council, well then, shame on you. Because it was, she hid it in plain paper, written out as a line item, and you should have seen it. You weren't doing your job. If she did not deceive this council, and you've just changed your mind, well then shame on you again. Because this is not the time or the place to do it as a place of political posturing. The fact is that if you did pass this law, and maybe it's like we have our example in Washington, you pass a law and then read it to see what was in it, rather than look at it before. But the fact is, this should not be a place for political posturing. Now, if it were for a place for political posturing, I might add something about the fact that, you know, you have been incompetent as far as going through the budget and then deciding that that shouldn't be in the budget. And if people are incompetent, now there are certain, now I wouldn't make political posturing, but if I did do political posturing, I say that those same incompetent people now, some of them are wanting to be mayor of this city. And I shouldn't want to see that political incompetence keep on going. But the fact is, I have watched the news, and there are people who have brought shame and reproach among the city. I don't care who brought it to the council. I know who I saw on the news. And that person I saw on the news was not any way making Bryant look good. We've made Bryant look like foolish on the local news. And that should not be. We should not bring those things. It should have been carried out in a meeting, in a budget meeting where it was. And I think that the time has come to have true leadership, and what I have seen has been true, good leadership in this community, and I want to continue to see it. Thank you.
Are there any more public comments at this time?